Hey foodies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jareen. Today we're making a very easy lasagna. Let's stick around and see how it goes. So the first thing we're doing, guys, is making the sauce. So we're starting off with some oil and some carrots. And I know you're thinking, carrot in lasagna, I don't know about that. But carrot does impart a lot of flavor. It adds natural sweetness as well. And if I had some celery, I would put some celery in there too. This is optional, guys, okay? And some onion as well. The combination of celery, carrot, and onion adds a lot of flavor to sauces and soups and all of that. So if you don't like the carrots though, that's fine, leave them out. But it's also a good way to hide veggies in the lasagna if you want the kiddos to eat more veggies, okay? So we're just cooking this till it's soft. Okay, we don't want it to be brown, so make sure you turn down the heat a little bit so they just cook until they're soft. Now we're going in with the garlic. I didn't add the garlic first because you guys know that garlic has a tendency to burn, right? So we add that afterwards. And add as much garlic as you love. This is Italian food, okay? We gotta have some garlic in there. I add a lot of garlic, but you can use less if you want to. Stir that in. See, it's not browning, it's just cooking until soft. And you guys can actually grate the onion and the carrot if you prefer. That's another trick to getting these really soft, really fast, especially if you don't want to see the bits and pieces of carrot in your lasagna. So we're going in with some wonderful herbs. If I had my fresh basil, I would be using it in this sauce, guys. But when I checked the fridge and looked at the basil, it did not look very happy. So I had to throw that out, and I'm using just the dry herbs, but honestly I love to put fresh basil in my lasagna. So we are seasoning the veggies here because this is gonna form our base for the meat that's going in right now, okay? Kind of like how you would have your green seasoning made and you add it to your meat. So this is gonna be really flavorful, and then we're gonna add the meat to this. So we're relying on this for seasoning our beef, because if you add the salt to the ground beef, it's going to pull out all the moisture, and then the ground meat is going to be harder and coarser. So once these are softened nicely, you just push them to the sides and make some space for the meat. If you feel like you need a little more olive oil, you can add it and let it heat up again, and then add the meat. I'm using ground beef today, but it's really good if you can get your butcher to ground a combination of like Italian sausage, regular beef, and some pork. It's really, really good. I'm keeping it simple today. I had ground beef in the fridge, that's what I'm using. So the heat was turned up a little bit, guys, because remember the meat is gonna be a little cold and you don't want it to sprout the water and start to simmer. So you turn up that heat pretty high and start breaking up the meat fast. Then once it browns up, you can always turn it back to a medium, okay? If it's too low, then it's gonna simmer. And I'm adding some red wine. This is optional, guys. It just adds a lot of flavor. Get that nice wine that you like to drink. Don't just buy the, that thing on the shelf that says cooking wine. Get a nice red wine that you love to drink, and then you're gonna let the alcohol cook off. Stir around those little bits in the bottom of the pan, right? So you get all that flavor brought up into the beef, and then you're gonna stir things around. I did add a little bit more wine, but I'm giving you the total. I did use half cup. And yes, if you want to leave out the wine, yes, it's fine, okay? So after that, we're gonna allow it to cook for just like a minute or so, because it's not a lot of wine. And stir that around, and then we'll go in with our other ingredients. Now, this is a very easy recipe. If you want to make your tomato sauce from scratch, that's perfectly fine and it's awesome. Or you could buy your favorite pasta sauce. Okay, don't just buy a plain tomato sauce. Buy a pasta sauce that has herbs and garlic and other good stuff added to it. Some of the brands I like, they have like a 5 cheese or 4 cheese pasta sauce. Just add this, you know, it's a really simple dinner. You don't want to have to go and make tomato sauce from scratch. But if you have tomato sauce from scratch already, then fine, use it. That's awesome. Okay, so stir this in, and then we are going to add some more things to get some flavor into this. So of course we're going to add more seasoning. You want to make sure that sauce is well seasoned before you even start to layer that lasagna. Okay, so we're going to repeat those same seasonings that were added to the onion and carrot before. Now listen, I am going to be adding some sugar. This is optional. I know a lot of my Italian friends are going to be like, no, don't add no sugar to the sauce. But guys, it's very acidic. So I just add a little bit of sugar. It's just to balance things out. You don't have to do it. It's fine. You can leave it out. I just like to add a little bit because it just balances the acidity of the tomato. You don't want sweet lasagna though, so don't use too much, all right? And then we're going to be adding bay leaves. If they are small, you can add like 2 tiny ones or 1.5, but don't add too much, okay? Sometimes 1 big one is all you need. So guys, this is basically my version of a bolognese, which is the sauce that's usually used for pasta, specifically lasagna in Italian cooking. And usually they simmer these for hours, but I'm not going to be cooking this for very long because I'm just using some lean ground beef, so it's not going to take long to cook, and I'm satisfied with the flavor I'm getting here. Okay, so you want to make sure it doesn't dry out too much, because you do want that nice saucy filling in your lasagna, but allow the meat to cook and take out your bay leaves and taste again. All right, now we are adding some ricotta to this. Not everybody loves ricotta, but I honestly like it in my lasagna. You can add some Parmesan, which adds even more flavor, and salt. And then you're gonna put some herbs in this as well. Lots of layers of flavor, guys. I've made the other version of lasagna with the bechamel sauce, you know, the white sauce, and I actually prefer this version. Both of them taste fine, but I prefer the one with the ricotta. Okay, and as far as how much ricotta you use, you don't have to use a lot, okay? But I like it in lasagna. So how do I know how much lasagna noodles I need? Whatever pan you're planning to use, just get the noodles and lay them in there. That will give you an idea. In this pan, 9 by 13, 3 pieces per layer is usually fine. But if you like to overlap your noodles, then you would need to put 4. Okay, so 3 or 4 is fine for a 9 by 13 container. Now we need to cook the lasagna noodles. So use the biggest pot that you have. If you don't have a very big pot, like a medium size like this one, all you're gonna do is just put them in there, and then once the bottoms of the lasagna noodles soften, they will just slide right down into the pot. And just rearrange them in the pot so they can all fit. They will slide down. See, they're all going down. Move things around. Listen, lasagna is a fun dish. Don't let it stress you out, okay? So just put those noodles in there. If you have a huge tall pot, then you won't have to work to shimmy things around, but it's fine, okay? Now just follow the directions on the packaging, but you're gonna cook it just maybe like 4 minutes or 3 minutes less than what they say, because you want it to be firmer, because it's gonna go into the oven. See, this is still firm, and remember, it's gonna finish baking in the oven. Now look, I put my baking dish on a baking tray. It's easier for me to take it out that way. All right, so let's do the layers, guys. The first thing is just a thin layer of sauce, not a lot. Then you're gonna put your noodles. If they are ripped, that's fine, guys. Lasagna is a fun, messy dish. Don't worry about it. All right, so put that on there. Then we're gonna go in with more sauce and try to spread things out as evenly as possible. Now today I'm only using 1 layer of the ricotta mixture. You can use 2 or 3 layers of it. That's perfectly fine. It's just a matter of preference. So I'm using just the 1 layer today, and you could use 2 or 3 if you want. And then we're gonna top that with more cheese. So this is the last layer, guys, and now I'm gonna use the leftover sauce on top. Okay, I don't put the meat on top, just that leftover sauce that we set aside, and spread that out. And then now you're gonna put lots and lots of cheese. You want the top to be nice and gooey. So now we're gonna put this in the oven. Remember that the meat sauce is cooked, the pasta is mostly cooked, so we just want everything to come together. And look at that. You're gonna have some crispy edges, and then the center is really nice and gooey. Okay, and then you want to let this rest for a little bit. Now honestly, guys, with the wonderful smell, it's hard to wait. I never wait that long, but try to wait a little bit before you cut it, because it's gonna be a really gooey piece of lasagna if you cut it immediately. If you don't mind, that's fine, but I'm just warning you, if you don't let it rest a little bit, then you know things won't come together nicely. So try and let it rest a little bit, okay? So use 2 egg lifters when you're taking it out. I'm just taking out a small piece here, so I'm just gonna use 1 egg lifter. And look at this. Ooh, look at the edges, they're crispy, and the cheese, ooh, so nice. Look at that. Really, really good, guys. Really good. I wish I had the fresh basil because it just adds so much to the dish. But you know, you guys, when you go grocery shopping, make sure you get your nice fresh basil and add it. Look at that. So nice. Okay. Look at that. Ooh. I do like to sprinkle some freshly grated Parmesan on top. Really nice, really delicious, guys. Okay, and this lasagna doesn't have a lot of layers. I've seen lasagnas with a lot more layers, but this is perfectly fine for me. I'm just gonna dig in and show you guys this deliciousness. Look at that. Look at that. And look, I'm taking out another piece just to show you. Ooh, nice. There you go. So I'm gonna take out some more. Oh my goodness, look at that. Sometimes when I want to be extra, I just, look at that. I put 2 pieces on top of each other. Look at that. Now it looks like I have a 20-layer lasagna. It's so gorgeous, guys. And the flavor is so nice. It's so simple. And you can make this your own, guys. If you want to add some spinach or some mushrooms, if you want to add, you know, some bits of bacon, there's so many things you could do. Look at that. Gorgeousness. Nice. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly enjoy this recipe. I really hope you'll enjoy it too. And it's pretty simple. Okay, remember, as I said, if you want to make tomato sauce from scratch, that's fine, go ahead. And also, if you want to use the oven ready pasta, you could use that too, and then you wouldn't have to boil the noodles. So either way, you're good, but just remember those basic things. Get that sauce nicely flavored and make sure your noodles are not overcooked, and lots of cheese on top. Oh gosh, you guys are gonna love this. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.